Hi there, and welcome to Real Talk with Angry Soccer Mom. I'm not as angry as I am terribly disappointed. I guess that's one way to put it. This week's discussion topics, as usual, include anything you think is newsworthy about racism, bigotry, and inequality and corruption in America. And unfortunately, that's pretty much everything. The show is meant to be an opportunity for viewers to speak their voice, and it is also meant to be an educational tool for white folks so they can learn about, the truth about systemic racism. So I always get reruns in this. I call them reruns. They're actually, people just look at them after the show, and I want to know what you think because white America needs to know. Because they got to get this. This is crazy. We have to get this. Hi, Nails and Glitter. Hello. Thanks for coming on. So before we start, I wanted to introduce myself. I'm Angry Soccer Mom. As I said before, not as angry as just really sad. I expect more from white America, and it's crazy. So if you haven't seen the show before and you're just joining, welcome. Don't be shy. This is about, listening to what you have to say, not just me blabbing, although I do a lot of blabbing. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please consider doing so and ring the bell. I have a bunch of videos coming out each week, and I'd love to know what you think about them. I have a few quick announcements, and we will get going. Now, this show, for those of you who might not know, is any topic related to, anti-racism, anti-bigotry, and inequality in America. So if I haven't brought it up, you bring it up. And if you're, off base or something, or it's fake news, everyone will pounce on you. No, I'm just kidding. We'll gently tell you that it's not true. But people and, the viewers will say stuff. Dragon monsters, third viewer, like if you believe you will. Thank you. So anyway, the other announcement is that Tuesdays, I really appreciated everybody coming to the debates, the Democratic debates. I always replace the talk show with Democratic debate stuff, or any debate stuff when we have it. So usually it's a call-in show. And just to let you know, the call-in show is great. But unfortunately, we had a little troll problem. So I have to give out the number on a as needed basis. So if you are not a troll and you would like the number, please just go to my Facebook page called Angry Soccer Mom, personal message me, and I will check you out and I will give you the number. Okay. So normally the Tuesday show is a call-in show and it's on one topic. So I just wanted to let you know. Thank you so much for being here. And let's get started. I wanted to start by wishing everybody happy Black History Month. And I wanted to point out that to some of the viewers, that I think it's really sad we have to have Black History Month, quite personally. And, that might sound like, what? But if you listen, you'll understand what I'm saying. It's pathetic. Black history is every month. Black history is every minute of every second of every month. That's our country. So that we have to have a separate month is just friggin' pathetic. And I want to know what you think about that too. So don't be shy. Jillian, hello. Thank you so much for being here. And what's the topic today? Today's topics, I'm getting there. Usually on the Tuesday show, I'll just announce the topic. But today it can be anything anyone who's watching wants to. And I've prepared some stuff. Anton, yay, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. So my topics for tonight are a little silly. I get really, really into them, and you're going to think I'm crazy, and I might be, but I think if not now, then when? I mean, my God, what is going on in our nation? This is just, it's so scary. It's beyond human. It's surreal. So the topics tonight I have are talking briefly. Ronald, hello. Thank you for being here. Talking briefly about debate night last night. Oh my gosh. PsyOps and Trump's cheating in 2020 and the coronavirus and inequity. And I have a lot of topics, and the coronavirus and racism in America and around the world. And I want to know what you think. Anton, you are absolutely welcome. It's my honor to have you. Dragon Monster, that's what I keep telling my friends. Doesn't make no sense saying this is a Black History Month. Yeah, I actually have a really nasty video on that in my YouTube. It's kind of sarcastic, shall I say. And I probably gotten the most hate mail from that one. Jillian, thank you so much. It is the least I can do, honestly. Absolutely. He said, I respect what you're doing. It's nothing compared to what people have to put up with in America over a completely made up, ridiculous human construct. And it's pathetic, and I will never stop. I mean, not because I'm a hero, not because I'm some sort of savior, because this is so important. And there's very few things more important to me. I've seen it since I was a little kid, and it's disgusting. Now I know what it's called. And white America needs to start talking about it, learn to talk about it, learn all the denials, There's probably like 30. But you're putting effort into it. Thank you. Absolutely. I'm kind of over the top sometimes. People are like, calm down, lady. But here's the thing. Everything seems to lead back to systemic racism. Everything. And I know that sounds a little like crazy, but it's true. It all leads back to this sick setup we have in America from the very beginning. And I tell the white folks watching, if you don't know how to talk about racism, it's okay. Just listen for a while. I got to meet you where you're at. I mean, there was a time when I didn't know how to talk about racism, and now I never shut the hell up about it. So, I mean, everybody has potential. You just have to care. There's about 30, like, incredibly obnoxious, racist denials, classic cliche denials of racism. And there's really not that many more. And that's what people use over and over. If you're white and you want to do something that matters because you believe this is so wrong, you just have to learn. It's not that hard. You just have to learn to find your voice. And that's it takes a while. And yes, people are going to hate your guts. But if you believe in yourself, who freaking cares? Do you really want people who are like that as your friends? I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy, but if you want to do it, you'll do it. If I can do it, anyone can, okay? Dragon Monster. It gives me hope when I see my fellow humans saying it how it is. God will give you all the strength you need to grow your channel and be a pillar in this country. Oh, thank you so much. To me, I know this sounds ridiculous, but this is so, so important. I see it. And when people pretend not to see it, I don't know. I don't get them. I don't understand. And a lot of times I did my first interview with these Trump supporters. And honestly, I went there because I was like on a quest. Like maybe those were the naive days. Maybe they can teach me, maybe they can explain to me. Not that I wanted to take anything they said and, credit it, but I wanted to know, how can you support and vote for a man who's running this campaign on taking away the human and civil rights of your fellow humans? Like, what the hell's wrong with you? And I didn't say that to them because that would, make them hate my guts and run away, whatever. But that's kind of what I think. Jonathan, my topic today is a whole bunch of stuff, and anything that anyone out there wants to talk about, I'm going to talk about psyops and how people are getting brainwashed by Trump, the coronavirus and inequity, and the coronavirus and racism. And something I really want you to hang out for, if you can, is what do you want for the top 10 things? I'm making a top 10 video on what anyone who's a non-white person, a Black person, a African-American person, I want to know, what do you want white people to know about what's going on? And I will put it 10, I'll stack it all up 1 through 10 and do a video. But coming from me, it's ridiculous. It needs to come from the people who live it. And I don't live it. And any second of any day, I can say, you know what? I don't want to do this. And that's my white privilege. And people who are Black and brown and indigenous and African Americans don't have that privilege. And it's disgusting in a country that boasts liberty and justice for all. It's a joke. Our country's a joke, and it doesn't have to be this way. Oh my gosh, I'm on a rampage. Miss Elaine, hello, thank you for being here. It's sad because Jesus is black. Yeah, one of my videos, I give like a warning, and I get kind of, I have to say, I'm not trying to be nasty. Some of my videos are nice and sweet and teacher-like, because I'm a teacher, was a teacher, and some of them are just freaking rants that are like, how could you? What's wrong with you? And I get lots of criticism, but you know what? Everyone responds to something different. So one of my videos, I say, okay, you probably should sit for this. Guess what? Jesus was not a white person. And it's like, if you say that you can clear a room of white people in 5 seconds flat, or at least they'll just be stunned. It's unbelievable how uncomfortable white people in general are about even talking about racism. So that's why I do some of these things. We have to learn to talk about it. Not to be a hero, not to be the leader, nothing like that. To be a human, because it's the right thing to do. You don't watch your fellow human getting shoved under in a pool and be like, I was born into this, oh, I didn't build the pool, so, it's not my business. No, yes, it actually is your business. You don't walk by somebody who's drowning and say, well, I didn't shove them in, so no. Okay, our government is an accomplice, and every person who doesn't work against it and try to dismantle systemic racism is accomplice. And if you do nothing, you are too. And that's just the sad truth. And I'm sorry. I like to say it like it is. It's called real talk. It's called real talk. So let's all be real. All right, let me take the comments. Jillian, I don't care about Trump. And you know what? Personally, he was at the right place at the right time. But what I care about is that they have the de facto modern leader of the Ku Klux Klan. I don't care if he says, oh, I'm not into that. He is absolutely into that. He is that. That's his thing. And this nation's not going to survive another 4 years. I don't know if we can survive another 2 minutes. So let me get into content and jump in whenever you can. There are certain things that I'll just go through and then take comments at the end, because it's just a lot of stuff that goes together. But I have a lot of breaks to jump in. If you have a topic I'm not covering tonight, just say what you want, bring it on, and I'll probably ask you questions about it. And thank you for being here. And that is all I can say. Okay, that's not all I can say. But so let's get started. So while you're thinking about what you want to discuss, I have a little, before this, normally I do a rant. I have kind of a set thing. I do a rant, but tonight I have a little short rant, and I have this statement by Robert Wright. He is one of my favorite teachers. And he's not just a teacher. He's kind of an amazing teacher. Good, Jonathan, good question. But both sides don't understand. I didn't know you guys were taught like that in school, so it's mostly ignorance. I took it as disrespect. White people have been lied to and or just not told. Absolutely. There's right. That is a perfect point. And I bring that up, and that upsets people, because it's like Black people and African Americans have been victimized by white folks. And so it's like a lot of folks will be like, shut up, don't talk about that. That's too bad. But it's a part of it. And here's the thing. Some of my videos are actually saying, look, no, I get why white folks get really, really defensive. We've been lied to, just like you said. We've been lied to by our own freaking parents, our grandparents. We've been lied to by our teachers. We've been lied to by society. And it really sucks. Whitewashed history. But here's the thing. It's our responsibility still. We have to educate ourselves. Now that you're born into this, yes, we were all born into this, and we were fed those lies, but now we're big people, and we have something called a brain. So, and I'm not trying to be demeaning, but I mean, really, it's called critical thinking. Think about that. When you were 2 and 3 and you played with all the kids and stuff like that, and you didn't give a shit what tan they were, whether they were brown, green, purple. You just didn't care. You loved the kids. You didn't care if they were Black. You didn't care if they were white, if they were peach. Nobody cared. And then something happened. We get socialized. We get indoctrinated. And all of a sudden, just kind of hang out with people who look like you. And yet it begins. But when we're little, we don't care who we play with. We just love to play. And there is nothing innate about this. This is taught. And like Jane Elliott says, if it can be taught, it can be untaught. And it's a lifelong lesson with a very steep learning curve. I will learn about systemic racism and how my fellow humans are treated and feel for the rest of my life. And I'll learn something every day till the day I die. I will never get there. And so white folks need to just drop their ego at the door and say, what kind of person do I want to be? I mean, it's a no-brainer for me. And I think when people really delve into themselves, here's the bottom line. Being racist is not good for white people either. We just don't know it. We don't get it. We're being played the fool. And we're completely, in every generation after generation, we're idiots. And I'm not afraid to say it because it's the truth. I talk about that truth about everything else. So why would I not talk about this? Let me just see here. Jillian, help enacting consequences in police who commit police brutality and shooting unarmed Black folks. Yes. Oh my gosh. I have about 7 videos on that. I'm trying to explain to the white folks, because see, I have no place talking to people who aren't white. I educate white people. And yeah, a lot of my friends are people who aren't white, but I know how to stay in my lane. And if I don't, I learn from it. And I will admit I made a mistake, and I feel awful, but I will learn from it. But I do not live this life. So I do not know better how to solve the problems, how to, what to do, how it feels, how it goes. The only thing I can do is listen like crazy. Not in this show, of course, because I'm blabbing, but I listen to all my friends. I used to have groups with like 34,000, 35,000 until Facebook kicked me off for life. Whole nother story. Kind of sad. I'm laughing because oh my God, you have no idea how pissed I am. But I worked with beginners in a small group of 5,000. It was closed. I worked with, and I say beginners, people who are afraid to come onto the internet because they know people will pounce on them because people are sick of this. But anyway, so absolutely. There is, and Julian, I am extremely opinionated that there is absolutely not a reason in the world why we can't stop police brutality and murder. Not one reason. I have studied that probably more than anything else. It's absolutely purposeful. We allow it. Police started off as slave catchers. That was their original charter. And the enculturation just stuck. And a lot of people don't know that. So let me see. Sorry, I'm like, you triggered me. Helping. Yes, so absolutely. This is purposeful. We are murdering and allowing our own people to be murdered on purpose. And it's disgusting. People think, oh, there are no solutions. That's bullshit. I'm sorry. There are solutions. We just don't want to enact them. And that is barbaric. So sorry, I'm like on a rampage here. Back to your regularly scheduled program. Okay. Michael, people and only 3 likes. Come on, folks. Thank you. That's right. I know. Okay, this is pathetic. I will completely confess. I'm like that guy, liar, who just has to like say everything that's true, and maybe I should shut up. I have no clue about technology. I have no clue about YouTube. I've had to kind of like figure it all out, and it's not good. It is not good. I don't know anything. So if I like don't see your comment, I mean, I'm really bad. I try though. I try to learn, but I'm slow. But thank you. Yes, if you put lots of likes, it's kind of good or something like that. So, all right. Jonathan, do you know the Bible says white people would say they've been lied to? Not sure if you're into the Bible. I am agnostic to the core of my being. I respect people who are religious and have a faith that they stick to and are devout to, but I loathe fake Christians, fake Muslims, fake Jewish people. I loathe them. So, but yeah, I'm agnostic. I'm like completely no religion. About 6 years ago, I took my son and I, he was a little boy at the time, and we went to a mosque, and I wanted to know, I was reading all this crap on YouTube. And I'm sorry, if you get your religious upbringing from social media about the Muslim faith or any faith, you got some issues, you got problems, because that's not the place. So I always go right to the source. So we spent 6 hours at a mosque. It was amazing. I mean, it was amazing. Of course, I tried to shake the man's hand. I mean, I made every mistake in the book. They were so good to us. It was during Ramadan, and it was like, oh my God, it was amazing. My son left. He was 13, and he said, "Mom, that was one of the best experiences of my entire life." And I was like, "Oh my God, I love you, baby." It was amazing. I am completely agnostic, but good question. But yeah, the Bible does say a lot about this, and a lot of Ku Klux Klan members. And I'm not, I'm just saying, I don't know a ton about the Bible. That's probably one of my weakest areas. They they believe in like the Old Testament, that like Black people are supposed to be enslaved, and that's how they justify it. So as a young kid, I was horrified to like, I'm sorry, I have some really strong beliefs and I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. But if your religion tells you to harm people, you're doing it wrong. It's just how I feel. If your religion tells you to hurt your fellow humans, something's not right. One of my interviews was with a friend of mine named Kenny, who wrote a book. In fact, I have it right here. I just happened to be, it's sitting right here. This is his book. And he wrote this, and I don't know if you can see it very well. It's a quick read. It's for white people, obviously, to try to teach them. Kenny is from the South, from Mississippi. And Michael, so yeah, you get it. And he just gets it. He's from a county that actually tried to secede from the during the Civil War, the Confederacy. They tried to say, we're not playing. And it was a very interesting story. And he writes it here, a really great book. It's an easy read. So I just thought I'd bring that up. But he's a white guy, and he tells me stuff. Oh my goodness. He's from Mississippi, and that's a toughie. So my quote that I want to share tonight is by Robert Reich, who is a brilliant man with lots of wisdom and also happens to be a phenomenal teacher. He taught at Berkeley. I have a number of videos of his, and I am actually going, and I don't usually do this, I'm going to see him in March. Not like a private, like whatever, but, with a group of people. I'm going to listen to him speak and try to sneak over to him. And, I'm like all nervous already. Robert Reich is an American liberal economist and a professor. He's an author and a political commentator. He served with, he's like older. He served with Gerald Ford. He served with Jimmy Carter and Bill Clinton, and he was Secretary of Labor from 93 to 97. And he was a member of Barack Obama's Economic Transition Advisory Board. So I really look up to him. Jonathan, okay, don't understand. Bible doesn't tell you to murder nor slavery on earth in the way white people have. I'm waiting for the next part. Yeah, well, I don't know a lot about religion, so don't quote me, but I do know that part of the extremists in the Bible, they take part of the Bible and they try to justify enslavement. I can back it up with some research if you want me to, but I'll do it like after the show and stuff. But yeah, it's crazy stuff, and some of the extremists go there. And you know what? I have something called a brain, and I'm human, and I'm going to use my God-given, whoever given humanness, and I'm going to think. And when a book tells me to hurt people, I'm going to say, I don't think so. It's just, I don't know what to say. I know I sound condescending, but yeah. Okay, so Robert Reich says, and I followed him for a long time. I went to school right near Berkeley. He says, the biggest political division in America today is no longer left versus right, as it was understood, more in the more recent past, decades ago, and the recent past, as wealth and power have moved to the top. The real divide is between democracy and oligarchy. And I would push it a step further to say a dictatorship. When a president thinks he's above the law and he has a clan of, I'm sorry, it is a clan of people supporting him and being a yes man or whatever you call it, that's a dictatorship. You can call it a democracy, but it's not. So I feel very strongly. Trump, he says, is of, by, and for the oligarchs. He's given them everything they've wanted: a giant tax cut, regulatory rollbacks, drilling rights, subsidies. And he thinks, this is his opinion, Elizabeth Warren and Bernie are the only candidates that are truly on the side of the people. Now, that can be definitely argued, because a lot of people are not happy with Bernie because of his take on reparations, in which I don't get. I am really into Elizabeth Warren. My whole thing is, I don't think our nation can handle another minute, let alone another 4 years of this monster. And I'll scream it from the rooftops. He is a monster. He looks up to Hitler. Okay. There's an interview that was done by Vanity Fair a long time ago about one of his wives, who is obviously now like been paid off to not talk. And she told about his favorite book that was on his nights. I mean, this was years ago, before he was even on his show. So I'm telling you, this is a bad man. What he did to the then boys, in the kids that he tried to have murdered, basically, in New York, years and years ago. I must be like really, really, really tired. I'm like blanking on words and left and right. I mean, I didn't even know who he was, and I looked it up. And the Central Park Five was the first thing that came up. And this was like 4 or 5 years ago. And I was like, he did that? Oh my God, what a horrible man. Like, I read the whole thing. I was like, okay, this is sick. And everyone's like, ha, 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 he's a joke. And I'm like, wow, he's a sicko. It's the first thing I ever learned about him. Ghost Killer, hello. And let me see. Real. Thank you for being here. And Stevie, thank you for being here. I'm just blabbing on. Thank you so much. Interrupt me anytime. Jump in. Real, that monster will remain president for 4 years. I know. I absolutely know. And it's terrifying. He has circumvented, oh my God, he has circumvented our Constitution. No matter what you think of our Constitution, it was meant to change and grow. And he is circumventing. He has had a power grab that is disgusting. And he has destroyed and is currently destroying our democratic republic. There's no longer 3 separate, judiciary, executive, and Congress. Now, executive has had a power grab of a lifetime. The people who wrote that Constitution would be just freaking out if they were here. This is everything they dreamed of not happening. And by the way, you might know this, if you read into the Founding Fathers, they knew slavery was on its way out. Absolutely. That's why the people in the Civil War were so livid 100 years later. They hated the Founding Fathers. They couldn't stand. They called them liberals. They were liberals because they made a constitution that can morph and grow over time. So they hated their guts. If you read the Cornerstone speech by the Vice President of the Confederacy, you'll learn all you need to know about what they thought of the Founding Fathers and what they thought of themselves and slavery. It's one of the most disgusting documents I've ever written. I've ever read, excuse me, I didn't write it. I heard it read out loud by this guy, and I put it on my channel. Actually, it's on my YouTube, because I think all white folks should bear through it and listen. If they want to understand just 1/1 billionth of the pure hatred that's been whitewashed out, they need to listen to this little speech. It's disgusting. Anyway, I love Robert Reich. He has a couple of videos up, and I am terrified that we're doomed, because Trump is truly, he wants to be king. And he is a very bad man. Like, you need me to. Leslie, hello. Thank you. Glad you got my message. So my rant today is going to be short and sweet, and then we'll go into topics. I know, Michael, I promise. I've promised myself, and it is not a hard promise. Whoever wins the nomination, honestly, I do not care. Trump is a monster. I will go door to door begging people to think and listen and use their logic and their humanity. Because, see, here's the problem. the white folks get all this fear and, oh, they're so confused. And 3 out of 4 white folks don't even have never had a close friend who doesn't look just like them. So all they get their information is from the bullshit propaganda and media. So they don't get it. They're not willing to think for themselves. It doesn't take a lot. Our society is based on white supremacy. We're all born into it. It doesn't take a lot to push at least implicit bias. Stevie, Trump is not a man. Trump is a devil. I'm not religious, as you know, but if there is any such thing, he's truly evil. The things he's done, oh God, don't even get me started. I gotta like, I get really upset about this. It's devastating. He allowed 7 little children to die for nothing. To die. No, the last 10 years before Trump, no child has died in custody. When we have a child in custody, that is a vulnerable person. When you have a person in prison, in custody, a person who's homeless, these are the most vulnerable citizens of our entire nation. I guess Trump never watched, what is it, like Spider-Man or what? I mean, with a large amount of, botching it, but with great power comes greater responsibility. Clearly, he didn't watch any of that, and he doesn't get that, because these are the people who we need to protect. And a lot of people will say, oh, angry soccer mom, be quiet. These are the... No, they're humans. And when you put someone in custody, you damn well better take care of them, at least with the minimal care. And we murdered 7 kids, and I take that upon our nation because we allowed it to happen. Because you know what? If we stormed the place, it wouldn't have happened. So something in us was like, maybe it's not so bad. I'm just saying, I have strong feelings. Okay. Michael, the gym I go to has Fox News running 24/7 on almost every, oh my God, I would die. I swear to God, I'm so privileged. I work at home. So I have no friends. It's great. Actually, I lost a lot of my friends, to be honest, with a letter I wrote on Facebook, which maybe I'll share sometime. And I absolutely deserved it, but I needed to do it. It's just, I needed to do it. I'm laughing because every year I read it. This is right when Trump started going. I basically wrote to everybody on my Facebook at the time. And you kind of wonder why is she booted off for life? Gee, probably because I just say stuff. But anyway, I wrote this letter. It said, if you support a man who is running a campaign on taking the civil and human rights of my fellow humans, away, then go fuck yourself. And that's exactly what it said. And I said, and before you do that, make sure you unfriend me because I want nothing to do with you. And oh my God, did I get people I didn't know were Trump supporters. It was amazing. And I'm just kind of laughing because I am so privileged that I don't have to have those people in my life. And when I hear oh my God, Fox News and all that, I don't know how people, I'm lucky. I'm in my little, anyway, I will be quiet. Let me see. But yeah, no, that's insane. I don't know how I'd be able to take it. Real. The thing is, let people vote or be with any party they choose. It's America. Even if someone walks around with a Trump shirt, you shouldn't physically assault that person. Absolutely. And honestly, these were people who, I've been doing this way before Trump got into the the field of I have power and now I can be a racist jackass and hurt everybody and be cruel, a long time ago. And so they knew who I was and they hated my education that I just used my site for educating. I always have. And they hated me to begin with. They didn't want to listen. So that wasn't like the first thing I said to them. I would try to teach them, try to talk to them, but people came out of the woodwork and it's really sad, but I have to know who my friends are. And I can't, I don't know. I'm lucky I don't have to. And that's a privilege. If you read the letter, you'll think I'm evil, but I'm sticking to it. I got banned for life and they won't tell me why. I think I know why, but let's keep up the good work. Thank you so much. Les, you are my sweet, sweet support. I am so lucky to have you. Thank you. So on to my rant. And Oh, Anton, I'm sorry, I skipped you. I never thought they would convict Weinstein. Yeah. What do you think of that? Interesting. Very interesting. I'll take a couple more because my rent is crazy. Um, let me see. Let me see. I'm sure if I skip you, just give a yell and I'll go back up. Okay. Here's my rant for today, and it's off the cuff. It's short and to the point. Every day, and this is not criticizing people who are my friends, it's just saying it like it is. Every single week, I get about 2 articles sent to me from well meaning, nice people I adore who didn't vet out their stuff. And it's absolutely bogus, completely fake news. Right now, fake news, propaganda, and absolute complete lies are all the rage in America. And do you know why they are? I do a commentary every time. Because they work like magic and people fall for them every time. And I am doing this rant to ask my fellow humans to step up to the plate and use your God-given, whoever you think gave it to you, critical thinking skills. The American public eats up this fake news and spreads it really fast. Sometimes they just read the headlines. Yes, I am talking about people will send something to someone else without reading the damn article. And certainly without checking its validity. So why am I ranting about this tonight? Let me put it bluntly, like I love to do. Fake news and manipulation of our news is destroying our democratic republic. And whether you love this place or hate this place, that document called the Constitution is what is supposed to uphold our government. And it's not perfect, but it's done pretty damn well moving along. Slower than I would like, slower than most people. But right now, I can't imagine what a dictatorship is going to be like. But we're getting a good feel for it. This is just the beginning. I believe we are witnessing the collapse of a democratic republic as in real time. And so I bring up Trump a lot because he has to go. I think this is our last chance. Just my take. I'm not a professional. I don't have a PhD in this, but I do have a brain somewhere in there. I don't always use it, but I try. So let me put this bluntly. The fake news and manipulation is destroying our democratic republic, and social media is helping all the way. It is the main cause. I mean, there are other factors impacting it, but social media, they refuse to make people have real news. And I'm going to talk a lot about that tonight because PSYOPs has been used on our fellow humans. Yes, American citizens. That's military grade weaponry and psychological manipulation. And I just did a video on it, but I'm going to talk a little bit about it tonight because anybody who doesn't know about it, you got to learn about this because Russia, I'm not sure what what they have to do with this part of it. They could have a lot, they could have nothing. But I'll talk about the company Trump has hired and is working with today as we speak and what they do to people on social media. So it's important, not just for the democracy, the Democratic Republic, but social media, it's having an impact on the viral outbreak that's been traveling from country to country to country. And let me try to explain. Today, I've read 3 articles that talk about the danger that's already happening with regard to fake viral news. And people are starting to say, people are saying that, and I mean people who know stuff, not getting competent medical advice about a contagious virus is going to spread disorder, panic, and chaos like we have never seen. And that is absolutely terrifying. So my rant tonight is a warning that will likely go unheard, not by people listening now, but by our friends. We all have those friends. Or so, well, I might not anymore because of my nasty letter, but I think they all ran. But we all have friends who, oh my God, they just won't listen. And we're going to shed some light on that tonight. But my rant is a warning. Do you know how I know this is happening? And it's because vetting out real news is a lot of work. It is. It takes time. It takes critical thinking. And for whatever reason, that's not something a lot of Americans like to do. They just want to send it. It's really cool. And whatever. And I get that. It's their entertainment. It's their relaxation. But misleading information and misinformation and outright bullshit and lies, twisted words, fake news, it's going to be our downfall. It really is. And all I had to do today to push this point, drive this point home, was to go to the Washington Post, and a source that is considered, the gold standard, pretty much, one of them at least, I believe. And what did I find? I found an article telling about fake news, how former President Barack Obama is calling on South Carolina television stations to stop running an ad from pro-Trump super PAC that uses his words absolutely out of context in a misleading, just absolutely bullshitting way, okay? Absolutely fake, making it like he is talking about Biden. And from what I read, it's disgusting. And just in time for the South Carolina primary, fake news and total misinformation is all the rage, and it's everywhere. I mean, the GOP, I don't know if you saw this video I did, has sent out pretend census reports. Okay, they come out like the 12th of March because this is a census year. We have to, we use the census to count the people so that we figure out who gets a lot of money for social programs. Well, the GOP send out fake census material to people so they'll fall for it. I mean, that's just, I know there's low and there's low. Do not underestimate what they'll do. Do not. So I'm going to take some comments and then we'll talk quickly about the debates. And I have backed myself up, but good here. Sorry about that. Oh, Michael, it's sad because even if you aren't paying attention to it, it's seeping into your subconscious. Absolutely. I tell a story about when I was a little kid in Los Angeles. I was 3 or 4. I remember I'm driven in a car by my parents, and my parents never uttered a racial slur in their entire life. They didn't have to. The society helped me. I would look and I would see these areas of town that had graffiti. And this is redlined. I mean, LA was redlined like you would not believe. It's disgusting. I was a teacher as an older person when I was 24 in Compton Unified School District. Talk about redlining. I mean, it was insane. But anyway, I'm getting off track. So I remember my first memory of racism, but I didn't know what it was driving by and seeing graffiti and seeing a whole bunch of people who I didn't know they were black. I didn't know they were brown. I knew they didn't look like me, but I was like 3 or 4. It was a feeling, I didn't have the words. I didn't know, and nobody told me anything. You drive by that a couple times and you see only that type of people. When I was 6, guess what I said to myself? I learned the word black, but I didn't really know what it meant. Why do black people like to live together in areas that have really bad infrastructure? I didn't say infrastructure, but I mean, this is what I was thinking. Why do they like that? Why do they do that? They shouldn't do that. They should live where I live. I didn't get it because nobody explained. So I thought that they just like to live together there. That was redlining in the inner city. They were forced. It's a cruel thing done by our government. So I mean, that was completely subliminal. I was like 3 or 4. I didn't know. So, I mean, it's easy to get, a bias. It's just so easy. Implicit bias is just sitting there waiting. All right. I'm not going to tell a story every comment, I promise. Jonathan, tell us about the letter, please. You know what? I'd have to get it printed out because what they did was when they, oh, I will though. I will definitely. I'll probably do a video on it. I read it every year just to make sure I'm in the right place. And every year I say, yeah, no, I wasn't being dramatic. No, I wasn't being just mean, or no, I believe every word I said about that. And I will read the letter. It's pretty mean, but I didn't think it was mean, but I guess it was mean to people who are like, let's just say it brought out people who I didn't even know. They took it totally personally, like a lot of cliche things, the white folks don't understand. It's not about us. It's not about us. Can you imagine that? And it's a really hard concept to get. It's about a system we are living in. People just, I didn't do this. It doesn't matter what we did. It's not about us. And that's one of the hardest concepts. Okay, but yeah, I will definitely read that letter. You've empowered me, emboldened me. Okay. When I got banned, they took away everything and they just everything gone. And it looked like I had kind of people asked me, why did you unfriend me? Why did you block me? I was like, I didn't do it. It was really bad. I mean, I cried. I was like devastated, not like, oh, I love my Facebook, but my friends and people who I really grown to love. So I was really upset. Also years and years of people who I've tried to mentor to learn and anyway, enough about me and my anguish. But yeah, they gave me a zip file, like this zip file type thing of downloaded of everything I've ever done. Okay, so I have to look into it and find. That's how they let me. At least they let me do that. That was so nice of them. You know, I'm bitter about. I hope they break them up. And oh, sorry, I'm bitter. Okay, let me see. Leslie, keep up the good work. Thank you so much. Did I read that twice? No, just kidding. Thank you, Les. Gary, welcome. I'm finding more anti-Trump people in very conservative areas I visit often. Tonight, one told me he was pure hate and needs replacing. You're talking about, so you're saying conservative people are saying that? That'd be good. Maybe I'm misunderstanding. Tell me more. I think I might be misunderstanding. Jonathan, I like how you like us with our truthful, offensive comments. Truth really matters to me. I don't know. It just does. But nails and glitter. Third rant. Keep them coming. I know. I'm on. I should have warned everybody. I'm crazed tonight. You'll know why. I'll when I go into the next subject matter. Anton, I think it's man-made. Yeah, I think it is too. I'm not sure 100% what you're referring to, but whatever it is, it's man-made. I'm sure, you know, I know if it's racism, I promise it's a human construct in our society, and we don't have to be that way. It's a choice, 100% a choice. Even if you're like, oh, I'm not aware. Well, you know what? Unless you're hiding under some like rock. Okay. Jane Elliott says, and she's somebody I learned about when I was 18, and it was just an amazing experience for me because no one talked to me about it. I thought, am I crazy? Am I imagining something? And when I found out about her, this is what she says. You don't understand. Oh, she talks to white folks, like I do. I educate white people. I do not educate people who are not white. That's not my place. And anyway, I'm saying that. This is what she says to them. She said, oh, you don't get racism. You don't see it. You don't. And then she just simply says, how would you like to be treated the way we treat Black people in America? Raise your hand. I don't know if you all have seen that. Not a hand goes up. So maybe we white folks know a little bit more about systemic racism than we're letting on. I'm just saying. Just saying. Okay, where was I? Thanks, Nails and Glitter. I never shut up. Ghost Kella, I hope you're still here, and I want to hear what you have to say. So real. Always remember, fake news is the real news. Real news is the fake news. That's the world we live in. They want us to be a big donkey. Yeah, it's kind of interesting what fake news and real news and putting all these different takes does is it makes the truth negotiable. The truth is not negotiable. I go with the best science, physical science. I go with the best social science and psychology we have to offer. It's not a completed science. No science is because we keep learning things. But there's no negotiating the truth. And there's no negotiating history. People can rewrite it. People can do whatever they want. But there is a truth to most things. Okay? There's opinions. There's a lot of psychological reasons people stick to and cling to lies. And I won't get into them tonight, but a couple of my videos go into them. Okay. Nails and Glitter, those are my favorite sources. Yep. National Public Radio, PBS News, BBC. Yep. I actually follow Al Jazeera too. At first, I wasn't so keen on them, but now I'm absolutely following Al Jazeera. They've really come full circle, and They talk about things that people are afraid to talk about. And I love that. So Al Jazeera I haven't been around them a while, but that's a really interesting, it's not a American centered news focus. So it's different. It's kind of refreshing, actually. Um, oh my gosh. Let me back it up. I'm so sorry. Michael, it's true. It's hard to understand someone else's situation if you haven't lived it. Michael, you are so sweet and understanding. I mean, I can tell you have a huge heart of gold. A lot of the seminars that I like to do are experiential because even for 1 minute, and it's not even real, most white folks are so used to having their privilege that it can be very impacting. It can be extremely impacting when we're put through an experiential thing where we all of a sudden aren't top dog in our mind or anyone else's. And it is so, and yeah, it's like painful, but it's worth it 1,000 times over to get it, even just for a mere second, just for a little glimpse in time of seeing. And then it opens up the whole world to you. If you're white, this stuff, once you start learning about this, the real racial history, it's like you can't stop because you'll crave the truth and you'll just find more and more and more. I still have oh my God, I have 30 hidden histories that I'm going to do 3 videos of, and I still haven't finished it. I promised I'd finish them by this month because I was thinking, put them out for Black History Month or whatever. But I am going to finish them. There's so much going on. But yeah, it is a gift to understand. It's a whole nother world, and it's like riding first class. You'll never go back once you start learning this and you get what's really going on. Probably a weird analogy, but I'm losing it tonight. I haven't had dinner. Okay. Guskilla, did you ever hear about the 6-year-old girl getting arrested for kicking a teacher? Oh, yes, I did. And I actually got very teary watching the video. I couldn't take it. It was horrific. I was going to put it in the show, but I couldn't take it. Just really briefly, this little girl is disabled. They're not, when you're 6 years old, I'm a special ed teacher. That's what my master's degree is. So I actually know a little bit about this. When you are 6, there are certain diagnoses that you don't give because 6-year-olds, you're 6. And so it takes a while to get a appropriate diagnosis. It's still, a science that's, there's a lot of learning to be, psychological brain functioning and all that we're in the infancy of understanding it. So this little girl had a tantrum. Okay, that's actually completely normal, age appropriate. And I guess she had a couple in a row. And instead of doing interventions like you would with, I'm sure the kid had an IEP, an individualized education plan. I'm sure she had special ed, knowledge in that school. I have no idea who dropped the ball. But they arrested this child, this little sweet baby. And I don't give a shit if she was having a tantrum. Police went in. Now, the police was fired, supposedly. He went in, and this is a 6-year-old. It's a baby. And she was terrified, and she had no clue. She's like, huh? Like, oh, what are you here for? And he cuffed her in these little, I just don't want to talk about it. It's horrible. He did. I hope that mother sues them for everything they've got. And I know that's not going to take away this child's pain. But when you harm a child that's special education because of mental disorder or because of psychological anything or anything, even academic, I'm sorry, it's more than harming just any old person. It's tenfold. You cannot harm people who are having emotional issues. They are disorders just like a heart attack, just like diabetes, like anything else. And what they did to this little baby girl is cruel and sick. And I literally could not watch it. But yeah, I couldn't watch it. Some things I can't take. It took me 3 years to do an Emmett Till video because anyway, enough about my woes. Anton, the coronavirus. Oh my God, we have to talk about that. Yes, 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 yes. Nails and glitter. I've heard a lot of mention that the coronavirus could be man-made. I personally don't think it is so far, but I'm not a virologist. I read some stuff on that, and that's another fake news thing. Also, my company's from in China, so I know about Wuhan, China. I mean, it's from China. It's from there. They readily admit it was accident. It's because of, and I can, you know what it's from. The institution that takes care of that kind of stuff in our nation, and I'm going to get to that. That was one of the fake things going around. It was not, no. It was not created. It was, they know about it. They just have to get the antidote for it, or whatever you call it. If I'm saying that right. Let me see. I backed it up again. Okay, sorry. It scrolls and I'm like, nails and glitter. Okay, that was your comment. Yeah, the CDC said no. I read that was what it was. They said no. The World Health Organization said no. And I mean, these are people who are really high up. They're not going to lie. You can't get that many people to lie. I mean, you can, but not from every country and whatever. So, but yeah, no, people are spreading it around. Let me see. Gary, several conservatives. Oh, you're clarifying. Okay. Several conservatives I know are fed up with Trump and his hate, and they say it publicly. Not all, but some. That is awesome. And please don't take me, and I know you don't, Gary, you know me, but please, if you're watching this, don't take me as a white hater. I'm not a white hater. I'm a white believer. I believe we can do better than this. I believe in white folks. We don't have to say, well, we've had hundreds and hundreds of years of systemic racism. It's just the way it goes. No, it doesn't have to be like that. That's quitting. That's giving up. That's being a loser. No, it doesn't have to be that way. We got to do something to help, not to be a leader, not to be, have our picture on Facebook, which I'll never have again. No, I don't care. I'm off of there. But to actually give a shit about our fellow humans. This is not difficult stuff, but I love it. I love it when people come around, and I do not have this grudge or anything. I mean, anybody who wants to learn, I will take them right where they're at. And I've done that tons of times with people. Some people are scared of my groups when I had them. So I would just take them under my wing privately and just talk to them on the phone once a week, write to them, and they would slowly. The best thing that ever happened to me was, oh my gosh, I'm so off topic. Okay. The best thing that ever happened to me in the sense that I felt like, oh my God, I did something. This worked. Was this older woman, and she was in a group, and she came in, I don't see color, this and that. And some people are too far gone, but the I don't see color, that's not too far gone for the group I was doing. We can work with that. And a year later, we kind of all celebrated her because she wrote to us and said, I finally found my voice after a year of learning. And I told off that freaking racist neighbor of mine, but good. And we're all, yay. We were like, we're so proud of you. Finding your voice. It takes a lot. It takes a lot for, everyone. She was raised by KKK people in the South. That's all she knew. So, and the coolest thing was when she left the group, she wrote me and said, I hope you don't mind, I'm leaving the group. And because I became friends with so many people, and they're like, I hope I don't mind. I was like, oh, it's fine. I get it. She goes, I can't stand all these newbies who say they don't see color. I was like, oh my God. That's what I didn't tell her. That's what you used to say. But she said she just can't take it anymore. Listen to these I don't see color people. So it was I know it's stupid, but you got to be happy for the little things, right? I was so happy. So she left and moved on, and she found her voice, and that was really cool. And even if it's one person, then I'm happy. And it might just be one person. I don't know, but that just keeps me going. That is what makes it matter, because this lady found her voice, told off her neighbor, and then had to leave the beginner group because, all these newbies are obnoxious and they're so racist. So I love that story. I'm sorry. Let me. So Gary, that's awesome that you're seeing people come around. Okay. Let me just see here. Oh, I'm so slow. The statement fake news was stated because of the truth community on YouTube making videos exposing all the secret societies connected to politics. Yeah, there's a lot of psychology with all that, like what's fake, what's not, what's fake. I mean, you gotta figure the Russians have been in meddled in 27 nations elections since 2004. So the Russians, I say the Russians because they're propaganda experts. It's what they do. And I didn't really know that till a few years ago. I didn't know that was their thing, but they're propaganda experts. It's what they do. And I learned a lot. I worked for a company in that helped people escape North Korea. Yes, you heard me right. It was like an underground railroad. If they can't cross the DMZ, they just get killed. But if they can escape, it was easier maybe like a few years back to escape through China. But once they escaped through China, they would get picked up for human trafficking. And they thought, yay, I'm free. No, now you're basically a sex slave. And so this group, an amazing, amazing group, they took people and they would house them and sneak and do it because it's against the law, on the border, right on the border, and then they'd send them to the U.S. or South Korea. But the problem is these people were destroyed. It's like psychologically speaking, and if they see an American, they're terrified of the American because of all the propaganda. So propaganda is so powerful. I'm sure a lot of you guys know that and everything, but that was an interesting part of my life. Okay. Jonathan, do you feel alone? Do you take shit or get shit from Black people? That's a great question. I have incredible amount of support. But here's the thing. I have to start all over with every single Black person I know. Every single one. Because why would they trust me? Especially someone who looks like me. I look, like kind of like the blondish hair. I'm not, and so I have to start all over with every single person. And that's tough shit for me, That's the way it goes. But there are some who will never trust me and who will never be close because they're done. And that's like, that part hurts me because, and I get it, like emotionally, I get it. Like, oh God, I'd probably be like that. But Black people are not, I've had maybe 2 in my entire life of doing this, be actually just rotten as hell. I hate to say it, but you're not gonna believe it. It's not even the racists that do it. It's the white liberals who have been evil beyond belief because they're fake liberals. They're liberal, but they think they are. They don't even, but they know nothing. I've had, I honestly, I kid you not, I could write a freaking book. I started an organization in my area. Fake liberal took it over, lied. Oh, stuff you would just be like. One time my admins in a group had to kick out a woman who happened to be Black that I was very close friends with. We were on the phone all the time. She had her boyfriend calling me because trying to get him to learn, and she had a lot of problems. And something happened, and she had some, mental issues and stuff like that I knew about. We were friends. I get it. I was fine with it. And one of her friends decided to report me to this crazy group, and they tried to oust my what's it called when you dox someone? They tried to dox me. White people. I've had trouble with white people who think they're doing the right thing. It's not the continuum. It's not linear from extremely, extremely conservative, aka racist, to extremely, extremely liberal. It's a circle. If you look at every single person and go, you're a racist piece of shit because you're white, then, are you really doing any good? Or you jump on someone and you don't know the circumstances. That's cheapening when something really does happen that's racist. Like when I don't care what it is, that was racist in my mind. It's like, you don't know the details. So what the fuck, When you do that, you become a fake liberal and you're just as bad as the people you're trying to fight because details matter, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So oh, yeah, thank you for asking me that question. Oh my goodness. Good question. But I'm, I'm good. I can't do it. I couldn't do anything else if I tried. So, but thank you for asking. That's really sweet of you. Jonathan, I'm just trying to understand you. It's quite amazing to see this. Oh, ask away, ask away. Thanks. That's very cute. Kitchen politics. I hope you're here still. I've been kind of taking a long time. Let me see. I hope you're here, kitchen politics. I hope you are. Nails and glitter. Can't diagnose some things till 18. Absolutely. Personality disorders. Absolutely. Thank you, Nails and Glitter, for adding. Beige, I hope you are here still. Yay, happy to have you. Police officers are trained to be facilitators of trauma and terror to Black children. Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, not every one of them, but enough that it's a thing. Doesn't have to take many, because here's the problem. It's like a terrorist. They don't really have to strike too much. You just have to know that they could strike, and that's screwed up. You just have to know. They only have to do it once, twice. That it's like it's a horrible thing. And I am appalled that we have solutions to stop police from harming our own people, and we don't use them. Check out this one video. I went nuts, and I named like 10 different things that work and how they work and why they work and what cities are using. I kind of went crazy on that, because this has to stop, and we could stop it. White folks don't want to. We have solutions, but we won't use them. And that's just disgusting. Sorry, get me going here. They zip tied her. I know. I honestly watched 1 second of it, and I was like, I can't do this. I mean, I can't. That poor, oh God. Jonathan, are you going to run? They would show one of my videos, and that would be it for me. Thank you, though. That's very sweet. Let me see. I get to the bottom here. Ghost Killa. That's what gun girl Caitlin Bennett said. I don't see color. That chick is ignorant, and I don't know, and doesn't know real history, only whitewash history. Yeah, I don't know who you're referring to, but the I don't see color thing is the most disingenuous thing on the planet. It's like, yeah, you do. Okay. Like, it's unbelievable, but and you know what the saddest thing is? That's not even like as bad as a lot of other things. I've heard, oh yeah. That's like when somebody says that, I can kind of work with them, and keep in mind, I work with white folks because it is not the responsibility of Black people, African-American people, Indigenous people, other people who are non-white to teach the oppressor. I mean, that's a bunch of crap. People need to like learn from other white people, or teach yourself. There's enough stuff out there, and then teach other people. And it is not, you do not have to take on this emotional toll of, dealing with this BS all day long in your life, and then come home and be an educator to the oppressor. I mean, yeah, it's a little exaggeration, but seriously, no way. So yeah, that's really important to understand. And when I ask somebody to do a video or to do an interview, I say something that's really kind of goofy. I say, I want you to do it, but it has to benefit you. And the reason I say that is, like, some people are like really sweet, and they'll be like, they want to please me. No, do not please me. If this does not please you and you glean something from it, that's what I actually send out to people who do interviews. I have a sheet, because the reason I do that is because I'm sorry, I am not, as a person who is a member of the, the empowered group, I do not have a right to use somebody emotionally for I want to know, teach me. No, if they don't benefit from it, they don't do it. And that's really important. And so a lot of videos I probably don't get because of that, but I can't do it. It's really important to stay in your lane if you're a white person trying to do this. It's not a science. It's kind of an art. So if you're white and you want to learn this, you're going to make mistakes. You're going to say stupid things, and you're going to feel horrible. And you just got to tuck your tail, like a little dog that you just have to say, okay, I messed up. And you learn from it. You got to learn from it. And just, yes, you might have made an enemy for life or somebody who just hates you or never, but you got to do good with this. So you're going to make mistakes. And it's very cringeworthy from personal experience. But you can do this. And it's so worth it. I swear it is so worth it. Okay, I'm done blabbing. Are you going to run for president? Are you kidding yourself? I think I already read that. Maybe I'm like going back to it because I love that. So Kate, yeah, tell us more, Guskella. I don't know who that is. If it's like a pop culture, you know me by now. I do not know pop culture. I am really bad. But let me see. Democratic nails and glitter. Democratic Party is the worst about polite racism. Yes, there are so many layers to racism. Mm-hmm. And it was interesting hearing the one Bloomberg, I guess his name. It was kind of interesting last night in the debates. I heard him go, well, I did this, and he was trying to get credit for acting human, and I was like, really? Because people were saying what they did and what they didn't do and he was, but I did this. And it was like such kind of basic, you acted human to someone? Wow, that's awesome. But he wanted credit. It was like, you can just see where he is on the continuum. And it's a lot. You think some things are like reparations. That is way high up. And if you start with reparations to a really, really racist white person, they'll leave. They will think you're crazy. That's it. They just don't get it. You got to start like really, really low kind of, and then like let it digest. Like I start with human construct, and most folks don't know about that. And I remember I work with beginners that want to learn, but are really, really racist. And I don't start by saying all whites are racist, even though that is something I believe, but let me explain. I believe implicit bias, which is naturally occurring in our society, is a form of racism because it can discriminate. It's this whole philosophy. But I don't look at racism as a yes or no question. It's a continuum for anybody who lives in this society. Anyway, I'm blabbing, but yeah, so you got to like let them digest it because it's like a lot to take. Your entire world has lied to you. It's a lot to take, depending on how bad off. Like Dixon White, yeah, it's like you kind of like slowly learn over time, and you got to have like a few minutes to like. So you don't just bombard them. You say, come back tomorrow, I'll give you another one, or maybe in a week. But that's how to really get them. Because if you jump steps, it's like saying you're an alien to somebody and them not knowing there are even other planets. They look at you like, okay, that's insane. It's really quite crazy. Guskella, she's a conservative Christian. She goes around harassing people about transgender people, gay people who give a F, let people live their lives. Yeah, really? Damn. Well, you know what? Those are the kind of Christian people who give Christianity a bad name. Because, like I said, this is just my opinion. If you're doing your religion and your religion says to hate people and be rotten and evil to people, you're doing it wrong. I'm sorry. That's just, anyway, I'll shut up. So the debates. What did you guys think? Thank you so much to everyone and anyone who was there at the chat party. That was a little crazy. Ghost Killer. She's a fake Christian too. So the so-called Christians broke all the 10 commandments while stealing land from the natives. Yeah, I don't know much about the Bible, but I can say she's probably a fake Christian if she goes around harming people. That's kind of a giveaway. It's like, seriously? Fake. I do not like it. And you know what? People who are real Christians don't like it either. I have plenty of friends who are real Christians, and it's disgusting to them because it gives religion a bad name. So the debates. Thanks, Gus Killa, for thanks, Moppy, for telling us. Let me see here. White people are eupolice. I don't know what that means. I could look it up. or you could just tell me. I don't really know. I don't know what that means. Tavane, wait, Tavane. I don't know if I'm saying it right either. Oh my gosh, I'm the worst. Reality TV. White people are Upali. I don't get it. Teach me. I'm here to learn. I'm not here to be like this big. I'm here to learn just as much. So if you have time and can do it, tell me what you're talking about. The Democratic debate freaking scared the hell out of me last night. We have candidates who were overheated. We heard dire warnings, extreme cases, pretty much pure chaos coupled with soothsayer of doom overtones. It was like, we're all going to die if we pick someone who's progressive. Oh my God. It was like totally out of control. What's a real Christian, people? I think maybe you guys talk amongst yourselves. I am so bad. I do not know religion. I'm just going to look that up because I don't know what that is. I just don't want to lose people trying to look something up. I will find out if it kills me, and it might. Boop. Okay, hang on a second. Oh, you know what? It took what you wrote and it completely changed it to something else. So you will have to teach me yourself. But white people are, yeah, I'll have to figure that out because it took it as like it wasn't even a word, supposedly. Okay, so we had this crazy, like it was nasty, but out of all this chaos, I believe we had a winner. Who do you think I'm going to say? Trump. He wins by default because I just hope to hell we pull our shit together. I'm not a Democrat, but I will be voting Democrat, no matter who. I can't think of anyone up there. And yes, there were some bad choices up there. And there are some really good ones. I can't think of anybody up there worse than Trump. Not a soul. Maybe you might say, oh, yeah, right. But I've seen his evil end. Whew. Our nation isn't going to survive another 4 years with a president who thinks he's above the law, who has a clan supporting him. And I mean, a proverbial clan, not a literal clan. Although you never know, is a clan of spineless, soul-selling Republican senators who had sold their freaking soul. And I have no clue what they tell their children. I want to know what you thought of it, if you don't mind sharing, because I'm going to tell you what I thought of it, because I always do. I'm not going to talk too much, don't worry, but I did want to say one thing. Let's get off this idea, the whole idea that progressive politics and social programs are radical ideas from hell. No, they're not. They're not. We've had them. I mean, no. We can boast all we want about America being so great, but it won't make it any truer. We can talk about it a lot. America's not going to be great till we're great, and we're not right now. We could be, but we're not. It's capitalism on steroids. Capitalism is supposed to be an economic system, not a way of life, not some Machiavellian like way of life. Come on, people. So the truth is, we can talk about how great we are all we want. It won't make it true. We do not take good care of our own citizens. We do not take good care of the most vulnerable members of our society, not even close. And that's compared us to, if you compare us to other nations, we are pretty much under other like nations, we're failing across the board. It is not radical and crazy and progressive out of control to expect clean water in America. We're supposed to be this rich country. It is not radical, crazy, insane to expect medical care for all humans in a wealthy nation that can't afford it. It's not insane and radical and progressive to think that no child in America should starve. Okay? It's not radical and progressive to believe everyone should have a home. I'm sorry. It's not. It's not radical to care for our fellow humans. I could go on, and I do. The world is watching, and they are shaking their head in pity at us. Acting like a human is not a radical, crazy, progressive thing. we need to travel and go to other nations and see what's going on. It's called being human. And what they were trying to do yesterday, that this progressive is so out of control. Our progressive is pseudo progressive. Other nations have had this stuff for years, decades. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Okay. Now let me see. I'm going to get taught here. White people are Europolian. Okay. Bear with me. White people are British, not English. Oh yeah, I don't know like a lot about that ethnicity stuff for white folks, but I'm learning. Nails and glitter, thank you. English is a language, though. Jonathan, what Tavain just said, and I know I'm butchering your name. I'm so sorry. Gus Killa, yeah, they're Anglo-Saxons. Jonathan, that me laughing at you. I don't know. I'm glad you're laughing. Laughing's good. Oh my God, I'm the worst. But at least I admit when I don't know something. Okay. The next thing, if you guys can bear with me, I want to talk about, and anything you want to bring up, go ahead. Obviously, and if I don't know about it, you'll just have to provide the information. PSYOPs or psychops and Trump cheating. I did a video on this. And there is a terrifying, I don't know if y'all saw it or not or whatever, if anyone saw it. There's a terrifying direct threat to our country in existence at this time, to our democratic republic. And you might think, oh, it's Trump. Oh, it's Russia. But it's something else. This information's been in the news a ton over the last 5 years, but there's so much news thrown at us. Trump just brings it on. He's like a chaotic nightmare. Remember when the Mueller investigation was going on and how distracting it was? We were thinking about like Russia and how the interference was, oh my God, it was crazy. And our own FBI knew they interfered, by the way, like long ago in 27 other elections. So when people were like, they didn't interfere, I was just laughing my head off. Just look at the FBI records from 2004 on. That's what they do. So the fake news is just flying. Around the same time this Mueller report thing was going on and the interference stuff was a seemingly unrelated story. It turned out that this story, when put together, may be the reason he won in 2016. And I don't know if the Russians are even involved in it. And why he's going to win in 2020. Yes, you heard me right. But there's so much more. So check this out. I'll give a brief history. I'll be brief history and then we'll go on. Facebook and a political data analytics firm named Cambridge Analytica had been implicated in a massive data breach. Do you guys remember that? Where like they stole data. Well, most of us didn't hear a lot of details about that. We just heard, oh, they stole our data. It's really bad. But, oh, it's way worse than that. It all started in around 2014, 2015. With this personality quiz app. I don't know if you guys have heard of this. It was, it's called This Is Your Digital Life. And what it did was it accumulated quiz results of people, Facebook users who took the quiz. Okay. And so, Jonathan, you're cracking me up. I know nothing. So they took the quiz, but it didn't stop there. After they took the quiz, this is like insane. The application mined their data, took everything from their Facebook profiles, okay, of people who took the quiz. But it didn't stop there either. It also took all the information and mined all their friends' Facebook. So if you had a friend, like let's say you had 200 friends, they took all theirs too. So overall, 87 million Facebook users had their personal information taken. This accumulated personal data was sold to a business named Cambridge Analytica in 2015. And in 2018, Cambridge Analytica filed for bankruptcy. They went out of business, so they're done. And around that time, 14 months later, it's kind of late in the game, Facebook was slapped with a record $5 billion fine for the data breach. And that was by the Federal Trade Commission, our Federal Trade Commission, because they let our data go to just anybody, you know? So why am I telling you this? Why is this important? Well, I want to tell you a little bit more about Cambridge Analytica. And yeah, this might be boring, but this may be, I don't know, but one of the most important things anybody can know and tell their congressperson about, because this is huge. The company, I want to tell you what they did with the data. Okay. This was no ordinary political consulting firm. It was a British company founded in 2013, and one of the founders was none other than Steve Bannon. And if the name sounds familiar, it's because Steve Bannon was appointed chief executive to Donald Trump's 2016 presidential campaign and went on to become Trump's White House chief strategist. Bye, Moppy. Before Trump fired him, of course. Now, Cambridge Analytica was not just any run-of-the-mill consulting firms. They used state-of-the-art mining and data analysis techniques to achieve their end. But here's the part nobody really knows about. The technology Cambridge Analytica used was created for our military. For our military contracts, they used digital psyops, psychological operations, against terrorists and drug cartels in other nations. So this is military-grade psychological weaponry. I don't think I can clarify this enough. This technology was designed for a military, ours, to work on people in other countries. The U.S. military used it to successfully combat the process of radicalizing. Remember how we're always trying to stop people from radicalizing? Well, lo and behold, the PSYOPs technology demonstrated its real-world effectiveness by thwarting jihadist recruitment in Pakistan. So they used it. They actually used the stuff, and it worked. It also turned drug dealers against drug cartels in South America. So we used this stuff, and it worked. Cambridge Analytica adopted this technology, and they inverted its implementation. Rather than use it to inhibit radicalization, Cambridge Analytica used this technology to promote radicalization. In early 2016, Cambridge Analytica, and you can look all this up. It's all right there. It's all been information that's out. It just has to be put together. Early in 2016, Cambridge Analytica was hired to test this inverted technology on people in the UK. Talk about people in the UK. And guess what it was used for? Brexit. Influencing and persuadable voters to support the withdrawal from the European Union. The goal was to see if it could be used, unbeknownst to British citizens, to influence the adoption of Brexit, the Brexit initiative. Well, after seeing how successful the Brexit campaign was, because that's what they're doing, Bannon and Cambridge Analytica joined forces with Trump for his 2016 campaign and took the data that was sold from Facebook. Let me emphasize this. These were not models designed to target groups of people. These models were tailored to individuals, specifically targeting undecided voters in swing states like Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania. Every person had their own, like if you went to your house, you had your own special psyops on your to get you to be influenced unknowingly against your will, and it's mind control. And I'm not into conspiracy theories, but this stuff works. We've gotten to the point in social science where we can kind of figure out what people will think and do and say and make them say what we want a lot of ways. But this was really bad. And not just any undecided voters. They targeted undecided voters who the model they used with social scientists indicated that they were gullible. So to be crystal clear, we're not talking about general misinformation, fake news, subliminals like in the olden days. We're talking about micro propaganda campaigns aimed directly at the fears, bigotry, and paranoia of the targeted voter. Brad Pascal, I don't know how to say his name, Pascal, was the director of the digital project Alamo, and he targeted with pinpoint accuracy using Facebook's platform to slowly, over time, deliver the message right back to the users that were being targeted. And what it did, it's brainwashing. It is brainwashing is what it is. It created a buzz in purple states. And once you create a buzz of either fake news or these people were basically manipulated. Each person was unknowingly manipulated with data that was designed specifically for them personally in order to influence them to shift their views towards hate and Trump's views, basically. If you consider 45% of Americans get their main news source from social media and nothing else, this delivery mechanism is incredibly effective. You don't just sway undecided voters, you radicalize them. Have you ever noticed, and you guys have to tell me this, have you noticed that some seemingly intelligent people are Trump supporters? And you just can't figure it out. Why would they do this to their fellow humans? Why would they support misogyny, systemic racism, personal racism, fat shaming, cruelty, just everything? Why? I'm telling you, I'm going to credit this company and its cult-like behavior. And these people had military-grade weaponry used against them. And this shit works. I mean, I don't know what else to say. I credit this cult-like behavior to the radicalization and psychological manipulation of our voting population of our democratic republic. So this isn't supposed to be a history lesson, a boring old history lesson. But my point is this. In 2019, Trump's campaign hired Matt Oczkowski, I think that's how you say it, to oversee his data strategy for the 2020 re-election campaign. Why is this significant? Well, in 2018, shortly after Cambridge Analytica filed for bankruptcy and broke up, a new company was formed called Data Propia or Propia. I don't know how to, I'm having some pronunciation issues. It was formed. This new company was headed by none other than Cambridge Analytica's former head of products. You guessed it, Matt Oczkowski. This new company also employed 3 other former employees. If you watch The Great Hoax, it's a documentary on this. You will be blown away. So we're doing it again. It's happening again. Our re-election process is being manipulated from the highest levels using military-grade warfare, psychological psyops. Look it up. And no one's lifting a freaking finger to do anything about it. And this will definitely be illegal, absolutely illegal. It's like that subliminal advertising was. It tricks you. People don't even know it. And this is insane. So, let me take a couple, if we still got people who want to stay up. I have tons more. Let me read Kitchen Politics. Kim Bizon for U.S. Congress, Michigan Congressional. Are you advertising Kitchen Politics? That's funny. Black men and narrative, the racist abuses. Tell me. I'd like to hear more about that. There's a lot of stuff. Actually, one of my friends, Don, who often comes on here and guest hosts with me. Oh, I'm sure he has stories to tell. He's done a ton of maybe three times he's come on to the show and guest host, and he has stories to tell, I'm sure. I've never directly asked him, but he was in the military. He's like kind of high up, I guess you could say. Jamie, thank you for being here. Yay, just in time. Don't be shy to join right in. Kitchen Politics. Republicans are in for a real rude awakening. They push their racist agenda and feed their base with BS, riling them up. Trump is especially guilty. They will be booted in 2020, but Russia will interfere. Russia is interfering. And this PSYOPs is interfering. Trump hired Data Propia, or whatever it's called, to pronounce it. It is a company that Cambridge Analytica has 4 of its folks working for it, and it brainwashes American citizens and impacts our democratic republic. And nobody's doing a damn thing about it. It's really scary. So let me just say, the next topic I don't know if you guys are up for this, the coronavirus and inequality and Trump. I don't know if you guys are aware of this. You probably are. But according to the Brookings Institute, the epidemic or pandemic or whatever we can call it right now, it always hits the poorest people first and worst. Well, not allowing people to accumulate wealth, aka systemic racism, has been a key. I mean, it's been the key player in systemic racism, not allowing Black and African American people and even other people of color to accumulate wealth. Well, lo and behold, the people who are the most impoverished are going to be hit the worst. That's how it goes. And because there is a larger percentage of Black, Brown, and Indigenous people who have suffered economic hardship at the hands of our government, they're going to be hit the worst. And this is another racism issue. Those with health coverage or a means to pay, they'll somehow, in some way, get through it. They'll get the best care and they'll get better treatment in a timely fashion. Yesterday, the Center for Disease Control issued a breaking news story championed by the Washington Post. That's where I saw it, like an hour after it broke. It stated that it is not a matter of when. It stated it's not a matter of when and not if. It's a matter of when, not if. Excuse me. It's a matter of when, not if, the coronavirus will come to the U.S. Now, that being said, the experts say we're not prepared. And so I had to look into that. And it's kind of freaking scary. According to health experts, the U.S. preparedness to deal with the threat of the coronavirus has been hampered terribly by personnel and budget cuts made by the Trump administration over the past 3 years. This is the position of Senior Director for Global Health Security and Biothreats on national security level was eliminated. Okay? Eliminated. We don't have a leader for it. Okay? So essentially, there's no one in the White House tasked to specifically oversee this virus when it comes to America. We need a full-on coordinated government response.
You just put Pence in charge.
Oh, we just put Pence in. Oh, a little birdie just told me, because it's happening he just put Pence in charge of it. Wow, great. Of coordinating it. Okay. Thank you. Breaking news. Lovely. Okay. What does Pence know about medicine, science? Oh my God.
He had a successful healthcare program in Indiana. That's why.
Okay, got it. I'm getting I need a little thing in my ear. Apparently, Pence had a successful healthcare plan. I've heard about that. Oh, unless you're in the LGBTQ community, in which case, sorry, won't go there. Then he'll let you die. Sorry, he is the most bigoted man on the planet. Sorry. Okay, so he was successful. He was successful in his program, so he should do it. He doesn't know. What does he know about health? This is crazy. But Pence is in charge. Isn't worth a pence. He'll pray it away. You're right, Gary. Oh my God, I love you. He'll pray it away. Little sicko that he is. Nails of glitter. Some Black people just want to leave the racism and go to Africa. Absolutely, yeah. I've heard that for sure. Tavane, white America's racism makes Black Americans move to Africa. Yeah, I mean, we have our own. Here's the thing. I've worked with a bunch of people from Australia, UK, and Canada, and our racism, we get an A+. We have our racism is like a different, and I'm not saying it's completely, but it's a different brand. It's really, when they hear what's going on here, they're like, oh my God, like we don't have hate speech laws. It's crazy. It's out of control. So okay, now we have great. So months into this problem, we have Pence. That's nice. The office was established in 2016 after the Ebola breakout, and the Ebola outbreak showed that the U.S. wasn't ready. And it looks like we're going to be pretty much screwed over big time because they aren't ready. I mean, talking to the World Health, watching the news on the World Health Organization and the CDC, we are not even remotely close to ready. Apparently, we kind of messed up a bunch of other countries too because we pulled our funding for them to be ready. So this is really bad, and the Trump administration just weren't into it. Apparently, the fundings has been drastically cut from the Center of Disease Control. It was forced to reduce and discontinue epidemic prevention efforts to 39 out of 49 countries. We've been helping to, because remember, if they get it, they spread it and it gets to us. So it is in our best interest, even if it's not humanitarian, for even really evil people to want to help other countries. So we don't get it. But he cut CDC 39 out of 49. This is the Washington Post. So scores of hospitals in the U.S. are ill prepared for this. A quote from The Guardian, you're kind of on your own. So let me take a couple people. African, European, American history. Coronavirus confirmed detected in California. Yes, nails and glitter. Thank you. Yes, I thank you for putting that. And we got to be ready because this government of ours, they're not taking care of us. And the people, the poorest, most vulnerable people are going to be the ones to be hit the hardest. The CDC said it will be a disruption to everyday life and it may be severe. So people might want to start thinking about it about now. That's fair. I like my news real. I like my news with a side order of truth. But then later yesterday, the Trump administration was going like, oh, it's not a big deal. They actually said, we have contained this, quote, I won't say airtight, but pretty close to airtight. What the actual you know what? Okay, boy, Trump really tricked us all. Instead of killing his own constituents with nuclear bombs, he's in charge of the anti-science movement, the anti-science, anti-common sense movement agenda, and he's going to do us all in. It's terrifying. Scooby too. Hi. That's cute. Are you a good little Scooby? I hope so. Tarvain, coronavirus, it's American game over. I gotta say, he's definitely screwed us over. Nails and glitter. Was person-to-person transmission, and the person who tested positive hadn't left the country or had close contact with anyone. Whoa, interesting. I don't think it's going to reach the hood. We don't go anywhere. Here's the thing. It doesn't take much. That's the thing. It doesn't take much. So I'm not sure. So nails and glitter, you're saying person-to-person transmission. See, they're still learning about this. They really are. So all I'm saying is please be aware and be safe and don't count on the fake news being spewed. Trump just cares about his freaking stock market going way down, taking up, plummeting, because it'll impact his election. That's all he cares about. Have you talked about Iran yet? No, I haven't. It's getting really bad over there. Scooby, jump in and give us information. I have been so transfixed on like the US. But jump in, give us information, and I'll read it. Thank you for that. Nails and glitter. The CDC said a small community is probably infected. Yeah. So, Jonathan, HOOD, Hood. Yes. No, I don't know how this is going to go down, but all I can say is, wow. I'm kind of joking about saying, yes, I am. Yes, I am. Oh. I'm kind of joking about like, haha, he's going to kill us all with this instead of the nuclear, atomic bombs and nuclear weapons, but not really, because this is what we get when we get a president who's a fucking moron. I'm sorry. This is how it works. We don't know all the decisions. We can't anticipate all the decisions that are going to be made by this man. So we have to have somebody who's actually a decent human being, who has moral leadership, which he does not. I mean, this is what we get. And it might be the end of our democratic republic. I hope to hell it doesn't come here like that and be like the CDC is saying, but so much for the richest nation in the world that we like to boast. The most freedom. Yeah. Such BS. Scooby-Doo, the Islamic regime in Iran has been trying to cover it up so people would still come out for elections. Oh, I will have to read about that. Taiwan, reality TV, number one, white, poor, and minority people get the coronavirus first, then we'll get discrimination. Oh, I have a whole, it's already happening. Okay, I'm going to skip all the way down. Forget about how he took away healthcare for poor people to pay for some of the stuff for the coronavirus. I'm sorry, I'm not taking medical advice from a man who doesn't believe in science, who lies through his teeth every 5 seconds he opens his mouth, who doesn't believe that the 98% of the world's foremost brilliant scientists who believe global warming is real. I'm not going to be taking my, getting my health advice from him. What can I say? I'm also not going to be getting health advice from someone who is inhumane to their fellow humans and lies 24/7. Trump has already told bold-faced lies about this coronavirus. The Washington Post says Trump said the United States was very close to a vaccine. Okay, top health officials have praised the record speed at which they expect to get a coronavirus vaccine in early clinical trials, but it's likely, they said, to be a year or 18 months before a vaccine is widely available. I'm sorry, that's not very close. Trump's a lying sack of shit. I'm sorry, he is. And the fake news that's being spread around about the coronavirus. Oh my gosh. Scooby, the problem in the Middle East is that they don't even have the infrastructure to diagnose it. Right now, they just think a bunch of people have colds. Damn. Good point. Yep. Good point. And you know what? We pulled, as you might have heard me say, we've apparently pulled our money away from, 39 different countries that we used to help so they can deal with this kind of thing. So, wow. I'm just saying, I'm not trying to be the soothsayer of doom. I'm not trying to scare people, but this is crazy. You got to learn our lingo today. Teach me. I'm so bad. I am so bad. Although I did do a video on Black vernacular English, and I love doing it. I got to quote Noam Chomsky, who's one of the most famous linguists in the world. So I was like, oh, my hero. So, but check that out. See if I did okay. You're so funny, Jonathan. Don't forget the food stamps were cut too. Nails and glitter can't quarantine hungry people long. Oh no. And Americans listening to quarantine, we're no shit's given. We'll do what we want. We're Americans. I just hope to hell they're wrong. I hope they're wrong. Scooby-Doo. It's spread from Asia to the Middle East pretty quickly. Soon it'll be making its way to Africa. It already has hit Africa, actually. I read today. They have way less ways to deal with it than even the Middle East. I know it's, you guys, God help us all. And so much for our leadership. Trump only cares about the top richest in America. Absolutely. He doesn't give a shit about anyone but himself and his rich buddies. President Trump only cares about the top. Oh yeah, oops, just read that. Sorry, I'm losing it. They're not even testing in Africa yet, really? Oh, I did not know that. In Brazil now, heard it on NPR. Yep. Thanks, Gary. Scooby-Doo, it's getting bad around here. Come stay with me. Okay, come on over. Absolutely. But yeah, my house is gonna be like quarantined with duct tape. We're not leaving. Dave, hello. Just in time to give your input. So apparently, Facebook and Twitter have said that they're going to take some extra, you know how I love Facebook, extra precautions to keep real news on top. So they're going to both keep real news up on top. So good of them. They're not going to stop fake news. But the problem is there's a dangerous self-fulfilling prophecy to spreading misinformation about serious matters like pandemic type outbreaks. I was reading an article today. This kind of thing is kind of interesting. In light of the fake news isn't just hurting our democratic republic. Apparently, it could kill us because what's happening is people are spreading fake news about this pandemic. They're spreading fake news, and it's not good. Apparently, Facebook and Twitter said they would try to take precautions to have real news about the coronavirus at the top of things. I hope they break up Facebook so badly. Oh my God, no person. I don't want this racist elite Zuckerberg in charge of 45% of the nation's well-being with regards to anything, let alone a healthcare issue like this. Add Trump's incompetence to it, and I'm going to say we are doomed. I'm not trying to be like funny. I think we're freaking doomed. I mean, we have a guy who is a racist piece of shit, Zuckerberg, and he is the person running that company that gives 45% of Americans their news. And he won't stop fake news. Reality TV, coronavirus spread in every country around the world, the human race going extinct. I'm not going to. I think it has a high death rate, but it's not going to make us extinct. But I mean, what do I know? I don't want to go there, but this nation should have been on top of this. Wow. Yeah, the death rates right now are nowhere near the flu. That's true. But I think and Nails and Glitter, correct me if I'm wrong, but the rate of death among a small amount of people that do have it compared to the flu are a little bit higher. So it's a deadly thing, but more people will die from the flu by the numbers. So it's a percentage thing. So the coronavirus and racism is huge. I actually have a video on it that's coming out. Since the coronavirus epidemic started in late 2019, people of Chinese descent and those who look like they're of Chinese descent are enduring a huge amount of increased racism from people in the United States and all over the world. People are losing their shit, okay? Asia is home to 48 countries. Only one of them is China. Yet, because some of us can't seem to catch on that there are other countries and that not all people are the same, if you look Asian, you look like you're from China. So, this is really screwy. I'm going to get a little bit into the history here, but then I want to know what African American and Black Americans think about this, because this sounds awfully familiar. An increase in some of this stuff. Scores of supposed white people have been triggered to physical violence and verbal assaults at the mere sight of seeing someone of Asian descent. And if they're wearing a mask, it's even worse. One man, oh my God, this was so embarrassing. One man was working at the Super 8 hotel in Plymouth, Indiana. He denied two men a room. He told them, and I quote, if they're from China, he's going to need to know, because he says anyone from China should be picked up immediately and quarantined for 2 weeks. That's what he was told. Totally liar, pants on fire, you little sicko. So, and they got it all on tape. Some Uber and Lyft drivers have been refusing to take people who look Asian or have Asian sounding last names. The racism is just gone wild. Individuals aren't the only ones being targeted. Here's the thing. A flyer was being circulated around Carson, California. It's kind of near where I used to work. That area told people to avoid Asian American run businesses due to concerns. And they actually used a fake World Health stamp seal. That's messed up. A fake World Health Organization seal. An Asian student at Barnard College says in classes, people won't sit next to Asian people. They look at you if you cough. They all, oops, that's my bedtime. Sorry, my bedtime alarm goes off. They stare at you rudely. In New York City, a man wearing a mask was assaulted and called actually it was a woman called a diseased bitch by some psycho. That was on tape. On a Los Angeles subway, a man proclaimed Chinese people are filthy and he had a rampage. That was on tape too. An assault took place last week in a high school in San Fernando Valley. The victims was sent to the hospital and treated for a concussion. People are losing their shit and becoming, the racist is rampant. California is the home to the largest Asian American population in the country, and people are scared, according to multiple news sources. But assaults, both verbal and physical, are not the only consequences. People who own Chinese restaurants in our nation are reporting up to 80% drop in business. Okay. And it's not just happening in America. So they're literally being driven out of business because of this kind of thing. As Chinese health officials are trying to struggle to contain this virus, inside China, a handful of countries have signs up all over the place saying, "Don't you dare come in here if you're Chinese." There was graffiti in Paris. I'll show pictures of it in the video when I make the video. Graffiti's all over Paris. There's Vietnam has Chinese not welcome signs. There was a violent attack in the UK on a man who was a college kid of Thai. He wasn't even Chinese, for God's sakes. I'm not that's okay. Of Thai descent. This overt racism is happening all over. There's cases in England, Australia, Japan, Italy, Thailand, Canada, and a lot of other places. People are going nuts. To put this in perspective, and this is kind of what Nails and Glitter, I think, was telling me. In the United States alone, an estimated 12,000 people have died from illnesses from the flu this season. It's like, whoa. The count started September 29th. The U.S. Center of Disease Control and Prevention says this. Misguided coronavirus fears fuel racism and xenophobia in other countries. But by contrast, since the coronavirus was first detected in the United States in January, and this is not up to date, it's more now, it's more like 50 something. 50 something people have been diagnosed, but I don't think anyone's died. Now, that actually is from America. I do not think they have. I know somebody might have died, but I don't think they were an American citizen, but they're in America. So if you need real information about this, which we all kind of do, Johns Hopkins is running and that's a very, very, it's a site that's, Johns Hopkins is state of the art medical facility. They're running a site where you can look at every nation and get the details. And I'm going to do a video on this. I'm going to get it out hopefully by the end of the week. But while gathering information about the deluge of racism being afforded to people who are Chinese and look Chinese, I can't help but be kind of disgusted. There's some outrage going on, but not only is it's a horrific thing from ignorant people lashing out at these people that are like, Jesus, I'm an American citizen. But Black people in America are all too familiar with this kind of racial discrimination, violence, and abuse. And I'm not saying people should be doing this to Asian-looking people, but it's a crime and it hasn't been dealt with. And Black folks have been dealing with that for centuries. My heart goes out to the people who are impacted by this racism, Chinese Americans or anybody who looks Chinese. But I find it an abomination that we still have systemic racism, that Black, brown, and Indigenous people, African Americans, have to be aware and be wary and be scared, just like these people are now. I mean, my God, it's like we don't evolve as humans. I don't get it. One Uber driver put it, I don't know, disgustingly well. He said, coughing while Asian is like driving while Black now, something you get stereotyped for. Uber drivers are losing their shit. If you're Asian, if you have an Asian sounding name, and people are losing it. So I want to know how Black and brown and African American people feel about this. There's been some news about it, and I'm going to do a video on it, but I don't know how I'd feel. I mean, obviously, you don't wish harm upon anybody, but this kind of shit's been happening for centuries, and it's not really in the news like it should be. I'll do the video, and hopefully, if anyone wants to be included in it, the video about what they think, bring it on. Just tell me, write to me, whatever you want to do. I refuse to compare one racism to another, but there is no comparison. But since Black folks have been experiencing this kind of bullshit since forever and a day, I just wanted to bring that out, So let me take some comments if I still have people who are asleep by now. Let me see. Scooby-Doo, you want to come stay with me. That's right. That's where I left off. Dave. Okay. Nails and glitter. Black people need to prepare to homeschool our kids. Yeah. Scooby-Doo, why just Black people? Everybody, I let white people worry about white people. That's nails and glitter. That's her. That's just how she feels. That's one way to look at it, said Scooby-Doo. I love that name. Tavain, I swear I want to learn how to pronounce your name. The coronavirus spread in every country around the world. The humans are going to go extinct. Okay, yeah, I think I already read that. Yeah. Let's hope not. The death rates are nowhere near the flu. Read that too. Sorry, I'm losing it. The death demographics include old people and people with complications. If you have a compromised immune system, it is very dangerous to get the flu or any virus. It makes it very, very dangerous if you have a compromised immune system for obvious reasons. And some young people have that too. It's exactly what Nails and Glitter said. Older people in that demographic and people who have other health issues. Very dangerous. It's the same with the flu. The death rates are pretty low in countries that can treat it, but in countries like Iran that can't, it's more like 10%. So I can imagine. Nails and glitter. Again, complications from other illnesses and treatments. Nails and glitter. Whoa, I just scrolled too far. Sorry. In places where the healthcare is less accessible, people live with more chronic illness. Yep, very good, true. Sounds like the chicken sandwich dealio. Oh no, I don't understand. Oh no, I'm so lost. Okay, it sounds cute, but I don't get it. Gary, you have to teach me, and I need like serious lessons. I don't get that. Facebook posts to avoid Chinese business because Facebook posts to avoid all Chinese business, but they all go back to China for the new year. Real fake news. Dang. Wow. What a low blow. What a low blow. More hatred I can have for that Zuckerberg. That's terrible. They're going to try to keep the fake news. It's irresponsible. Unfucking believable. Irresponsible. Oh wow. Thanks, Gary. Scooby, they need to crack down on the live animals market, not the Asian. Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, and it's not everywhere in Asia. It's just in kind of rural type areas, and there's a lot of mythology about certain foods, and I don't know if I told you I work for a company in a Chinese company, and so I get to talk to the people all the time, every day about this. I talk to like 3 to 4 people every single day about the coronavirus, and they're really hurting there. Because they're all stuck at home. Not everybody, but a lot of people. My students and also their parents. A lot of them are stuck at home too. So for months and months, and like my kids say that the kids that I have, and their my other clients, they say it's like desolate. Like there's nobody on the streets. It's like freaky. So they're losing their mind. They're all getting homeschooled now from computer though. So at least they have stuff to do. Yeah, Scooby, absolutely. And they've already put in new laws already. That's the good thing about a regime, I guess. They can change laws really fast. Don't tell Trump that. Let me see. truthfully, how can Black people advocate for any other group when we haven't stopped it for us? Good point. Good point. It's sometimes else. Okay. Um, that's fair, nails and glitter. Yeah, sounds fair to me. I don't have a say. I don't get a say in what Black, brown, and indigenous people feel. They get to feel whatever the hell they want, and it's not my business. So I always just say, sounds good to me, because it's not my place. But yeah, right. And it's not my place. To me, if white people have same diseases as Asian people, not the same reaction, every race will not. Let me just try to figure this out. You're saying if white people have the same diseases as Asian people, not the same reaction, every race will not be discriminated. Oh, we're all the human race. We all have the same reaction to it. We're all a human race. People don't get that, and I know you do, but we're all of the human species or whatever. We're all one race. Race is a human construct, so people will react not based on their race. That's their skin tone, really, is the amount of active melanization. I'm making up words, that is active within your skin, and for your eyes and for your skin. Nothing to do with your health, like in that regard. If you are older or have a compromised immune system or like other medical problems, that's going to make you susceptible no matter what, supposed race you are. Ordeal, dealio. Okay, you're trying to teach me something. Asian people, welcome to being Black. Yeah, it's yeah. It's yeah. And obviously, I would never, you can't compare any of this stuff, but it's unbelievable that Black folks have been going through this forever and a day, and God, we gotta evolve, people. We gotta evolve. Technology's evolving, but we're not. We just have to we're so lucky to be human. We got to use our thinking. I'm not talking to people who are listening, but just like the folks that aren't using their critical thinking skills and being nice to their fellow humans. Jillian, you are so sweet. Oh my God, I'm not even I'm blushing. That is very sweet of you to say. That helps to counter all this stuff. When I get people who are like really mad at me, like really, really mad at me because of the stuff I say, oh my God, they don't just like make actual real points like, oh, I don't think that, because they call me ugly. They call me a lesbian. I'm like, okay, how do you know what my sexual preference? No, just kidding. I'm not lesbian, but it's like funny. Like, do you know something I don't know? But they never stick to like the topic because they have no point to make because they're racist as fuck, But it's so funny. They always go for my looks. I'm a fat old bag. It's so crazy. So thank you very much for that sweet compliment. Nails and glitter. I'm waiting for the day white people figure out they're Black too. Oh, I know, me too. Because no, I'm not going to say it. Okay, I'm going to say it. Don't hate me. Okay, I don't know. I don't care. I'm just going to say it. I just keep thinking in my mind that all the Ku Klux Klan people will like try to kill themselves because like they, get it. And then they'll be like, they'll be gone. And then, okay, sorry. I should have said it. It's too late. Forgive me. I haven't had dinner. But yes, me too. Me too. Yeah. We're all Black. White isn't is a not Black people came first. Human Genome Project. Science. Read about it. Yeah. Thank you, Nails and Glitter. Jonathan, Delio, Kim, you're gonna learn the lingo today. I'm not worthy. You're so funny. Oh my gosh. I'm really, really bad. That you're hilarious. You're making me laugh. Tevin, Nails and Glitter, whites have Black blood, not from slavery. Okay. Right. The Human Genome Project is what we know scientifically so far. Wait, I said it. What? No. And what we know so far is the best of our knowledge. Science is evolving, so we're always going to learn something more. It's a kind of an ongoing thing, and I'm hoping humans are evolving too. But the Human Genome Project is a good one to look at because it does strongly say that the first humans were from Africa, and they were not white people. They were dark people, brown, black people, and that we were, I guess we came from them and had to adapt or die, because when you're living in a sun, it's a whole, it's an evolutionary thing. And I'm not going to go into it right now, but a lot of you probably know this. But yeah, right now that is the absolute most accurate scientific belief. Scooby Doo, thanks, Nails and Glitter. I'm so happy you're here. Scooby Doo, are you religious at all? If so, how does that impact how you look at situations like this? I am the least religious person on the freaking planet. I am agnostic, and I don't have anything against any religion. I kind of talked about this a little bit earlier. You might not have been there, but I can't. I won't. I am not atheist. I am not so arrogant to think that like we're the top of the tier. I mean, I know somebody created us, whatever. I am not like a devoutly, like all-knowing person say, I know God exists, but I definitely think there's a good possibility something bigger than us or greater than us exists. So I'm not atheist, but I am not religious at all. I love people who use their faith to help make the world a better place. And people who don't use their faith to help make the world a better place, I call fakes. Because if, like I said earlier, and I'm pretty opinionated on this, and talking about religion, I mean, listen to this. I talk about politics, religion, and racism. The three things that people say, oh my God, whatever you do, don't talk about. So, I mean, hey, what do I have to lose? I'm putting it out there. I truly believe that if you read a book and it tells you to be nasty to your fellow human and you believe it, you got some serious issues. You're doing your religious wrong, your religion wrong. You're not doing it right. And I know that's probably offensive to some people, but if you read a book and it says to be, you interpret this as be rotten to your brothers and sisters. We are all related. And I believe it with all my heart. And the Human Genome Project says it. So if a book can tell you to do that, that's a bunch of bullshit. You got issues. So I guess that's how I handle it. Thank you for the question. I don't think I have an eloquent answer. What did I say, Jonathan? I'm going to get you for this. What did I say? Nails and Glitter. They need to do more genetic testing in Africa where the DNA is most diverse. Yeah. I believe somewhere close to Ethiopia. You're not religious. Okay, that's cool. What's your zodiac sign? You must be an Aries. You have strong opinions. You know what? I am not an Aries. I'm a bull, like that bull thing. I don't really know about this. I'm a Taurus. But actually, I've changed drastically. It took me, okay, quick story, and then I'll say goodnight to everybody. If you can stand one more story. I wanted to go on Facebook, Taurus. Yeah, thanks, Glid. I love you, Nails and Glitter. You're so sweet. Okay, I was on Facebook for the first time like 10 years ago. And I mean, if you read my life story, I ate in the library alone in high school every single day. I had no friends, zero. None. It's a whole other story. So I was incredibly shy. I didn't raise my hand in class, never, not once. Okay, maybe one time in math because I knew the teacher a little bit. All 4 years of high school, didn't have a single friend in school, just all alone. And I was very shy. So I came onto Facebook and I watched and I read. And this is before I knew how crazy it was. And one day I liked something. I was like, I liked something. Okay. And I was like, okay. Whew. I lived through it. I liked something. And then one day, oh, Dave, I am not surprised. Right. We're 7 days apart. Right. Except for I'm way older. I'm an old lady. So then I wrote something like a comment. And it was an opinion. And I guess it was somebody wrote something really mean back and I deleted it. I didn't know how to delete it. I'm like, shit, I got to delete this. So I deleted it. And I'm like, I'm never writing it again. I'm never doing this again. Because it was like, I was so freaked out because like somebody hated my opinion. And then I kind of went from there. And then I started a group because of this other, it's a long story, but anyway, so I've come a long ways with my opinion. I used to be super, super shy. My friend Dixon White, I don't know if you guys know him. He's a huge anti-racist guy. Gary, you're a Taurus and older. I don't know. I might be older than you. Yay, Taurus. But real, we definitely have to talk. Look at you now. And now I won't shut the hell up. It's like so funny. It's so crazy. So that's my story. And so anyone can become outgoing, because I'm talking like my parents took me to like a psychologist because I wouldn't talk. I mean, to anybody. So I'm just saying, when I tell white folks to stand up and find their voice, I'm not just speaking from as a person who's just born outgoing. And no, Dixon White helped me tremendously. And he made me say to myself, you know what? I have all these strong feelings, and I've had them since I was 6 years old. This is a sick thing, and it's not about me. And so, you know what? So what if I mess up? So what if I make a mistake? I'll say something stupid. Yeah, I'll live. People who are Black and brown and African American and Indigenous might not, because of systemic racism. I will live, but they might not. And that was it. I was like, okay, I'm doing it. And I did my first video. I was so embarrassed. And I got like some likes on it. So anyway, that's my story. And anyone who's white, there's no excuse. You just have to care and learn and educate yourself and become a part of the solution. Because Black folks and African American folks, they're going to get their equity. But wouldn't it be nice if maybe their fellow humans gave a shit and actually cared? That's all I'm saying. So thank you. Oh, supposed to meet you. Yes, thank you so much. I want to say good night to everybody. You're wonderful. Before you go, I have one more thing to say. Dixon, yay. Yeah, he's a sweetheart. Do I have a brother or sister? They're evil. You can't. No, they don't watch this. Don't worry. But yeah, no. You're so funny. Scooby-Doo, you're amazing. 30 hours per day, reality TV. 30 hours per day from AM, PM. I don't know what that means, but you could tell me. But I wanted to ask everybody before you take off, if you have a minute, I'm doing a video. So I wanted to know suggestions. It's going to be top 10 things white people should know. Okay. Now, I don't like to use the term white people, but I don't know what other term to use. I mean, we made it up to try to, be racist, I guess, but it's the only one I have. So I know people are like, oh, that's a terrible term. Well, I don't know. So bear with me. I'm sure there'll be another better one. I want to know what you think. The last thing I have planned is just to ask Black people, African American people, or even anyone non-white, anyone, what they think. What would you say? And this is very personal, and you don't have to answer, obviously. What would you say if you could tell white America anything and they would actually listen and learn and give a shit? I would really like to know. So don't touch hair. Don't touch hair. This? Oh, no, I'm like a hag and I'm sweating. But yeah, sorry. Oh, sorry. I get like, I have this guy in France. He's Tiffany, you're trying to teach me 80 minutes, 1 hour, but 84. Oh, I'm so confused. Okay. He is always giving me advice on like what to do. And he's an actor, and he's like really like a good actor. And he's in France right now. He left. And I don't know if he left because of racism, but maybe he did. I think he did. I can't remember. But anyway, I do get advice. Nails and glitter. Don't touch your hair. Don't touch our hair. Oh, don't touch. Yes. Thank you. Don't touch our hair. I'm like a disabled person. I got it. You're saying, yes. That's huge. Oh my God. What she is saying is, I thought you were telling me because I just went like this. God. Oh, I'm such a stooge. I crack myself up. That's how out of it I am. Yes, that is awesome. People go up to people who have hair that, when you said our hair, I'm like, what? We both? Oh, I get it now. Oh my God, I'm so bad. Thank you. You can laugh if you want. I'm a stooge. People literally go up to Black people and like, oh, it's like, no, 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 no. Uh-uh. Oh my gosh. Tarvane's having like a math thing going on. Um, I think what white people should know is there's a difference between N-word people and Black people. You know, interesting. That's interesting. I don't even know how to answer that. I don't even know how to answer that because I don't think of any human like that. And it's not like, oh, I'm so sanctimonious. I don't think that way. I literally don't think that way. I could think someone's an asshole, a jerk, whatever, but I won't go, what you did was so bad, I'm going to talk about your skin tone. What the hell? That's just weird to me. It doesn't come to me. But interesting. Are you trying to say like you want white people to know we're not bad people, or tell me more. I don't know if I could get it. You'll explain. Okay, you can explain to me. Thank you. I appreciate it. Like privately, maybe. Scooby too. Is this some kind of conspiracy about the way we track time? I thought we had that one figured out. Oh my God, that's hilarious. Yeah, I think you might be right. That's a tough concept to explain to white people because they don't understand the usage. Okay, I'm lost. Are we talking about the hair thing, or are we talking about? It's kind of strange. I just like really quick story. I swear I'm going to shut up. Okay, when I was a teacher, I was 24. I was like really young in the old days. When I worked in Compton, California, is during the LA riots. It was a crazy time for that area, just crazy. Our little school in gotcha. Thank you, Nelson Clutter. Thank you. So I was confused, and I was rightly so. Yeah, it's me. I have a lot to learn. I'm telling you, I learn every day. So I was teaching these little adorable little kids, and I didn't have kids myself, so they were like my first babies, kind of, and they were 8, 9, and 10 years old. So they were really cute, and I loved kids. So it was like, and I didn't have like kids at home, so really didn't have a lot of experience with kids. There were, in the last year I was there, before the riots and all that, when they had the verdict, the Rodney King verdict, and the police got off basically abusing him, and we had 8 shootings in a 9-month period, basically one a month, where I would have to, you hear shooting, like bang, bang, like real shooting, and I would have to lock the doors. There's a yellow alert. They had like an alert for it. There'd be, and I'd have to get the kids to duck down, and we'd wait there till the all clear bell came. We had like a procedure, and it happened once a month. And it was so close, you heard the gun go off. This is not something we had, and these little precious babies would say, I'd say, okay, kids, get down, everybody. And they'd go, oh, we don't have to. And I'd be like, no, you do. Get down. Come on, guys, please. And they'd be like, this happens all the time. And I'd say, guys, do me a favor. I said, this is my watch. No one's going to get hurt on my watch. Get down. And it would be like, they thought I was hilarious. They'd sleep in the bathtub at night. This is America. Oh my gosh, I don't know exactly what you mean. Real well. I'm sorry, but I have a lot to learn. But these are little babies telling me, this big grown-up lady, 24 years old woman, oh, it's okay. What got me on that topic was this is going to sound so crazy, but the little boys at recess, I would hang out with them sometimes, and they wanted to touch my hair. And I was for a lot of them, they really didn't have contact with a lot of white folks. It was very segregated. I was one of the only white people at the whole school. There's like 3. And so they wanted to touch my hair. And I didn't know anything about the touching hair thing. Michelle, oh my gosh. Hello. Wow, we're just wrapping up, but I'm happy you're here. So the little boys would play with my hair. It was so cute, little 9-year-old boys. And they would find little gray and like pull it out. I'd be like, pull those out. It was so adorable. So I think it's like this curiosity. But the problem is, that's perfectly fine if they do that to me, because see, I'm in the power group. It's not okay that someone who's in that group goes up and grabs somebody's hair because they just want to. That's like your private business. That's anyway, I have a lot to say about that. But anyway, that was my story. I'll take a couple more things and I gotta let you guys go. It's like so late, but I'm so happy people stayed. Jonathan, I would ask white people to get, and sorry I misunderstood nails and glitter. I am so stupid, but a little funny, right? I mean, how stupid I am. Okay. I would ask white people to get educated on the history of white supremacy based on the point of view I got from you. Oh, thank you. Whites that are just racist with the knowledge. I would ask why. Yeah, it's really strange. Like I'm on, you know what, Jonathan, I'm on a quest for why. Like, why would you do this? Like, why? I don't get it. And I finally got to the point, like 10 years later, I told myself, stop obsessing on it. Kim, I'm Kim. You're gonna die not knowing. I don't know why people would do this. Like, they know it's fake. We don't have white supremacy. We're not better than other people. They know it's fake. So it's like they're lying to themselves. It's all confusing to me. They're actually lying to themselves. But then they're like believing their lie. And I know, nails and glitter, white fragility. I know, I have to. I have like 7 books on it. But anyway, Jonathan, I absolutely get 100% what you're saying. 100%. And Michelle, I am happy you're here. And Gary, good night. Thank you so much for being here. And everybody, and I know there's probably a bunch of people who are watching that aren't saying anything. And you heard my shy story. I freaked when I wrote something. Yeah, I love Robin DiAngelo. Yes. And some of the why, it's like, it's not like I'm looking for, oh, that's why. It's just like, I just want to know. I want to know, like, how can you do this to your fellow humans? What? I just don't get it. I don't know. I guess I'm like a curious type. But anyway, if you are here and this is like one of your first times, I want to thank you so much for being here. I love doing these things. I blab and blab. I wish I could have people on, but most people have been like really, really afraid to come on because of the consequences. And I don't blame them one bit. People are crazy, especially now. They're emboldened by this, nutty leadership. But please, yeah, I know. I bet it did. I will. I have like 7 books sitting around that I'm doing, and I promise you, it's the last thing I do, because you mean a lot to me, Nails and Glitter, and I trust you absolutely. When you say to read something, I have like a bunch of them backed up. But anyway, please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel and ring the bell. I put out videos. Some of them are strange. I do 2 live shows a week. One's supposed to be a call-in on Tuesday, and this one's just like a chatty thing. And I've had guest hosts come on. So if you want to be a guest host to come on, you can. But if you're not comfortable with that, I totally understand. And if you want to support what I'm trying to do, which is get to white America and say, hello, this is not rocket science. It's called learning, growing. Don't we learn and grow? Like, yes, we do. So if you want to support me, get people on my YouTube channel watching videos and coming to the shows and learning and expressing. Ronald, you're still here. Oh my God, I'm so happy. That's awesome. And Tarvain, I'll have 3 of what you're on. No offense, I'm just teasing. Oh my God, that's hilarious. You're losing it, mister. Ronald, thank you so much for being here. You are such a sweetheart. And Jonathan is having a good time. Thank you guys so much. And PM me if you want the number to the Tuesday show. And I just can't stop talking. I need dinner. I'm starving. Thank Thank you guys, and be safe and watch real news at CDC and the hospital, Johns Hopkins, is going to have the real information, because when this thing hits, it's going to be scary, and there's already a shortage of masks. Okay, so just, you can use other things. There's got to be other things. All right. Thank you, Real, and we'll be in touch. And I can't thank you enough. Good night, and don't be a stranger. Write to me. I want to know what you think. Okay. Good night, everybody.